Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Do you have a vehicle you no longer need? Are you a little cash strapped? Rudy Luther Toyota will pay you for your used vehicle. It's really simple. Head to rudyluthertoyota.com, answer a few simple questions, and Rudy Luther Toyota will get you an instant offer. Then they will set up an appointment, and after a quick verification, they will handle all the paperwork and coordinate getting you your check. It's that simple. It's a fast way for you to get rid of the vehicle you no longer need, putting money in your hands. For more information, head to rudyluthertoyota.com. That's rudyluthertoyota.com.
You may not think of it, but winter is a great time to take care of those exterior home projects. This is Chad, owner of AM 950 for Snap Construction. Most people wait until the warmer months for their exterior home projects, but labor costs are actually lowest in the winter. And that's true for the contractor I trust, Snap Construction. Arguably the most well-reviewed exterior contractor and insulation contractor in the metro. Are you noticing ice dams on your house? Or is your furnace constantly running and you're still not comfortable? In addition to your exterior home projects, winter is also a great time to get your insulation checked with a free energy audit from Snap Construction. The average cost to upgrade your insulation is oftentimes less than a new furnace. Plus, there are rebates available from your energy provider when you upgrade your insulation. As always, Snap Construction stands by their work with a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. So don't wait for prices to rise in the warmer months. Get a free estimate now by calling 612-333-SNAP, 612-333-SNAP, or go to snapconstruction.com.
Hi, it's Penny from Nightingale, your gathering spot near 26th and Lyndale in South Minneapolis since 2012. Come check out the fun and vibrant atmosphere. Besides our traditional favorites like the Nightingale burger and fries, did you know we also have delicious vegetarian and vegan options? Plus, we have one of the best gluten-free menus in town. And for drinks, our bar staff is always creating fun new cocktails along with a thoughtfully curated wine and beer list. Join us at Nightingale where good times and great flavors come together.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 32. Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 46. Then Tuesday night, rain possible with a low of 35. Discover the amazing roast beef sandwiches and so much more at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. Maverick's is located 1 mile south of Highway 36 on Lexington Avenue. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. We discuss local, national, Native news and events. You know, 9 years, do you think I could get this sentence right going through, Haley?
I wish you the best of luck on the second time.
Yes. Hey, Native. Let me just throw this at you. Hey, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Dagai. This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Yes, they do, and I love that tagline. Hey, I just got to give a quick shout out to our friends that came out to the Snow Snake festival here that was happening Saturday and Sunday. I made it out there and took third place in the elder division. Haley.
Oh my goodness, you didn't tell me that. I didn't.
Well, there
know
was
you
only
placed.
3 of us.
Oh, and okay, elders too. So we got to give you a little more grace, you know.
Yeah, here, wait, let me get the applause.
Oh, needed.
Yeah, definitely
Needed.
Yes, and so it was great. It was warm, but the trail was put together. Saw some some people out there. Saw Paul Domain, Barry Hand,
Oh,
I
cool.
saw our friend that works for Native American Community Development Institute that does who's Ho-Chunk. I saw her. She was out there throwing the
Destiny?
snake. Yeah, Destiny was there.
Oh, Hoa, Ho-Chunk
Yeah,
relative.
yeah. I didn't see how she was doing, but we were talking, and we were talking Ho-Chunk politics. So I wasn't paying attention to anybody else except talking to her. But we're all from big families, and there was only so many families. And if you look at who we're related to, Haley, it's like we're related to everybody, and that's
Yeah,
no kidding. I mean,
I know. I
in what is that? Uh, the not me 21 and me, but the other one.
Oh, the Ancestry.com?
Yeah, we're related to Sharice Davids. Like she's our fifth cousin. It's just crazy shit.
I
Stuff
know.
like that. I almost had whoever's at the mother station push the
Oh,
panic button.
swearing button.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, even like you said, the artwork, I have artwork behind me that it's behind my desk here, and it's from Henry Payer.
Oh,
And when I connected with him to purchase the artwork, I was like, hey, looking at my family tree on my Winnebago side, I am related to a woman with the last name Payer. And we actually like looked at each other's family tree and tracked down like who exactly we were related to, that we had that mutual connection from in our family. So it was cool, like any Ho-Chunk Winnebago, I'm always like, who's your family's last name? Where do you come from?
right.
'Cause
And the clans were for duties, but also not to commingle with the same clan member.
yeah.
They had that figured out thousands of years ago too.
Yeah, good thing. Hey, I want to go back to snow snake. Hard to say, snow
Did you
snake.
did you hear how slow I said that?
Yeah, that's what I have to do. Slow down and yeah. Snow
Not
snake.
no steak. Okay.
What is I think we had a listener last week. It might have been Shantina, ask what snow snake is. Like, how do
Mm.
you play snow snake?
Well, there's a couple of ways to go. You make that kind of trail where shiny sticks in it, and it falls back from hunting. They use those kind of I don't know what they're called, things to throw at you. The
Oh,
small
like
little.
spears almost?
Yes, exactly, spears. Thank you, Haley.
Okay.
And then that was a winter kind of festival. So they'd make a trail and whip it down there and see who could throw it the furthest or slide it on the trail the furthest. But also, there's accuracy too. So if you put, throw it down to here, whoever's closest to this. We did that too on
Mm.
Sunday, and I didn't win the $10, but the closest without going too far.
Okay, so it's kind of like, would it be similar to shuffleboard if you're talking about the accuracy and
Yeah.
shooting it so far? Okay.
Yeah,
And then
with a spear, or
yeah.
they're a little thicker than spears, and some of them are longer, and some of them are shorter. They're different sizes, and nowadays they're waxed up too, so they're shiny wood. And I know Paul
Painted like
Domain,
snakes?
yeah, and I know Paul Domain up in Madeline Island he was telling me his is like 150 feet. It's
Wow.
huge.
That'd be fun.
And it could go further, of course, if it wasn't 50 degrees,
Yeah.
it was slush snow snake. Oh my God.
Yeah, try saying that one 5 times fast.
I put another S in there. Geez.
What's that one Winter Olympic sport where they're in like the carts and then they shoot down almost like it looks like ice, like the
Mhm.
ice
Yeah, they do it a
tube?
couple times. The luge, is that
Yeah, I think
one's
that's
on
what
the
it is.
back, and then they have a luge team, I think,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
That's what it reminds me of, throwing the snake
but it doesn't
spear thing
that
down.
doesn't make any sense to me, because it's like, I don't know. They should
I don't know
race and have
either.
bumper cars with that Olympics thing. That just like whoever whips down there the fastest at 100 miles an hour and with no control. I've
Mhm.
never gotten that.
No, kind of like extreme sledding or something over in Fallon Park
I
or
think
something.
extreme sledding would be a lot more fun.
I think so. We can make it a thing. I don't
Do it
know.
2 people at a time and have
Yeah.
swords and spears thrown at each other as they're going down the trail, but
Yeah, well, I know when you don't have snow too, like over in Madison, in Wisconsin, our Ho-Chunk friend Bill Quackenbush, wasn't he carving it out of the ice in the lake at the
oh,
track? That's
yeah.
what I saw because they didn't have enough
But
snow
they
there.
they pack it up though too. They
Mm,
find as much snow as they can, because literally was no snow by the Mississippi River where this was. There was no snow, but there
yeah.
was a 3-foot high snow snake trail.
Okay. That's how high it is? Like, wait.
Yeah, because I was standing up. Did you see the picture of me whipping one down there? I mean, I just bent over. I wasn't on my knees or
Oh,
anything.
that's right. Yeah.
It's like waist high. It's like,
Okay. And that's what you shoot it off of?
yeah, you kind of go back and forth and get your leverage and then whip it down there. And
Whip,
again,
whip it real good.
yeah.
Well, we're waiting for Dr. Stately to come on.
Yeah, Dr. Stately will have like a minute. He'll be able to introduce
Ooh.
himself, and we'll thank him for coming on and checking in.
Yeah. Well, I want to shout out NACD real quick, NAC's
Yeah.
neighbor, NACD.
Oh.
We were talking about their new exhibit that was coming to All My
Oh,
Relations
yeah.
Arts. Yeah, Rory Wakehamup's solo exhibition.
Is that
That was
tonight?
no, it was supposed to start earlier, but I remember Robert Lilligren saying that Rory got sick, so they
Right.
had to postpone the opening, and it's going to be this Thursday instead.
Oh, I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
make it out there.
I know, the 27th. So it might be, I don't know when like the opening reception is,
It'll
but
be
definitely check out allmyrelationsarts.org.
a lot of times it's like 5:00, so I've always volunteered you to go down there and do it live. So I know it's during your
Oh,
show, but then the whole thing starts at 6, so we can scoot down there and make it on time.
yeah, that looks like a good one. So Rory Wakehamup's solo exhibition coming to All My Relations Arts is titled Smart Wars, and Rory is kind of known for bringing activism into his art. So this is a really cool piece. It's based off of Star Wars, and based off of different regalia pieces and kind of an indigenized touch to it. So I'm excited to check that out.
Well, do you remember the MMIW during the what, May 5th? I guess it's National MMIW.
Yeah.
He did all those teepees and all those red dress cardboard cutoffs. I mean, there was thousands of them.
Yeah. And that was all over the Minnesota State Capitol lawns.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
crazy.
I remember I took a bunch of pictures of that. I still have it.
I was gonna take one of those because it was an art, they were silk screened, and I was gonna take one home, and then somebody wanted one that was one of the speakers, and I gave it to her.
Oh,
So, I don't need more things in my house, Haley, but
no. We can see your background, Robert, too, on the social.
don't look. I don't have it blurred out.
No. We can fix that for you.
Yeah. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and who do we have up next here?
We got Jonathon coming on, and Jonathon is a director of Western Hemisphere Indigenous Network and also host of the Red Shirt podcast.
Got a lot to talk about, and it's great that we got our monthly update with Jonathon, and this is Native Roots Radio, and hey, we're going to be right back after this short break.
Stay with us. The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Your heart beats for generations.
Your heart is so many things. It beats all the time, and it works very hard to keep you moving through your day, keeping your thoughts clear. It's the most important organ in your body.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. Taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats. That's hennepin.us/heart-beats.
Support for Native Roots Radio comes from the Walker Art Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds, Cheyenne and Arapaho Nation, and Jim Demini, Ojibwe. Additionally, films screen in the cinema, and performances are shown on stage. Free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org. Again, that's walkerart.org.
Minnesotans are hardy. We don't let snow or ice get in our way. We have places to go. So making sure your vehicle is in prime shape for winter driving is so important. Take your vehicle to Rudy Luther Toyota for all your service needs. I was just there. I got my oil and filters replaced, and they did a complete safety check to make sure my vehicle can tackle winter. And they service all makes and models of vehicles. Head to rudyluthertoyota.com and use their super easy Toyota service schedule to set up your service appointment today. Rudy Luther Toyota on the southeast corner of 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, Haley, we got the director of the Western Hemisphere Indigenous Network, host of the Red Shirt podcast, Jonathon. Jonathon, introduce yourself in a good way. Welcome back to Native Roots Radio.
Hey, how's it going, Robert and Haley? Can you hear me pretty good? I'm using a lapel mic.
No, I don't hear anything.
We can't hear you, Jonathon.
Oh, no. Okay, here, 1 second.
Maybe got to switch over that audio settings to his fancy microphone. I don't know.
Yeah,
well,
it
you know,
is,
third place as a
hear me now?
soul snake thrower, Haley, as Jonathan's getting his settings set up, was really fun, and I really wanted to do a lot better and really whip it down there a lot faster, but I didn't want to slip into the mud, you know.
Oh yeah, because it was
Can you hear
also warm. I'm a little excited for these warmer temps, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
Well, you know, and you can be for sure, but I really I believe we have like global warming happening and things like that. So I'm always like concerned going, I've never been in a warm winter like this. There's going to be a drought. I live really close to the Mississippi River, so it's always interesting to see, you know, how low the river is. And then a lot of people, unlike us, we don't water our grass. And I know a lot of people over here in where I live water their grass, and it's just,
Yeah, I just found out our social media live viewers can hear Jonathon.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Not sure why.
I wonder what's going on. Mothership, come in, please. Maybe, that's really weird.
Because I says that you can hear me.
He's talking.
Yeah. So we can't hear you on the radio though right now. So I'm wondering, do we have issue at? Let me take a look at.
I was going to ask Robert, do you have your own snow snakes? Because I know people like make their own and bring their own.
No,
You
but the people that put this on had a lot of them for us, and
Okay.
yeah. So I wonder what's going on here. Maybe Jonathon can leave and come back.
Yeah, maybe. Jonathon, if you can hear us, can you leave this studio room and then join us again? And we'll see if that does anything.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, Brett, or who is at the station, can you hear can you hear Jonathon?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting on some
Well,
contact.
it's funny, they can hear him on
On the radio live stream.
the StreamYard.
Well, that's good.
Oh,
I want to know
okay.
what Jonathon's saying though too.
Yeah, definitely. So that's interesting. Well, and you're on Clean Feed too, so that's probably why I can hear you really well. But
Yes, we are tuned in.
something's going on with the settings to StreamYard, and everyone's getting the inside skinny on how we do this show too.
Yeah, it's a team of
So
crew.
we go from the station to StreamYard, which is all over. Then people on Facebook, Blue Sky, YouTube can hear us, and our guests can normally hear us. I wonder, could he hear us?
I think so, because it looked like he was responding to us. Like I could see his mouth moving.
Yeah.
Good thing we have, our cameras on for that reason.
Right. Well, a lot's been going on this week too, and geez, I just had to. Haley, I was talking a little bit to you about this before the show. I had to revisit the documentary about anime just to kind of ground myself, and it was hard to find again on that network. It was pretty interesting.
What was it on? Hulu?
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
okay.
And it was buried deep, so I had to because it's got a long title to it. And
Yeah, what is it? It's the Vow of Silence, I think, the assassination of Anna Aquash.
right. Let's
Looks
see.
like
That's
Jonathon.
yeah. Jonathan, give us a test.
Can
Can you hear us,
Oh.
Jonathan?
you hear me?
No, I still can't hear.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well,
I can hear
maybe
you.
we should get his phone number for the next. That's
Have them call in or something.
yeah.
Here's I'll log out and I'll disconnect my mic.
That's really interesting. This stuff has been working well for years now, and then every once in a while there's like a update and things go haywire here. You know what I mean?
Troubleshooting on air. Thank you guys for staying with us here.
Right.
Jonathan is the host of the Red Shirt podcast, and you can find his podcast on all those podcast platforms if you're going to look him up. The Red Shirt podcast.
Oh, well, that's crazy because go ahead, Jonathan.
Can you hear me?
No, and
Am I
see, I
muted?
can't hear him.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's so
Oh, no.
odd.
Yeah, so why don't we shoot him a message here, and we'll maybe call him, and let's do
Yeah.
that. A lot of things that we've been here 500 years, and we need to yeah, or Jonathan, call that number right there, and then stay on the camera too. And if you can do both, call the number, and they'll patch us in.
Hey,
Yeah, and
we'll get it
yeah.
figured out. We'll get it figured out.
Right. Jeez, I was just
Um,
like, I need to smudge. You know what I?
Oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, the
I need
answer for everything.
yeah, exactly. So I heard rumors your dad bought a new car.
My Jaji did buy a new car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he was really
awesome.
excited about it. Yeah, he bought I texted you everything. I don't know how to
Oh.
like say the whole engine thing because
Oh, yeah.
guys and they're all picky about their cars and stuff.
And how
But
to
it's a
say it.
Dodge Charger. It's a
Mhm.
2016 and it's fast and it's a car he's always wanted. So I'm proud of my dad for
Well,
doing that for himself.
it's a V8 392 cubic inch, and when I was young, I had an LTD with a 429 V8 in there, and it was fast as the Troopers. That's what the Troopers were using.
Yeah.
69 LTDs,
Yeah.
and yeah, I couldn't outrun them. But I got more tickets with that car than I did with. Well, I don't even want to talk about it, but I got rid of it after 9 months. That car, and
Oh yeah, that'd be me too.
barely held on to the old license, but that was 1977, 78. So
Oh yeah, long time ago. No,
yeah,
I'm just kidding. I don't know what my dream kind of fast car would be.
well, hey, Jonathan's on, and why don't we add him so you can see him in video too? And Jonathan, welcome, and thank you for your patience with us here on Native Roots Radio. Go ahead, Jonathan. Are you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I did not hear the phone come through.
No, but the station
started
said he's
talking.
ready. So go ahead, Jonathan. Unmute your phone and let us have it here. Let us have some good medicine. Oh, wow.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I still don't hear anything.
Because I'm on
That's
the
weird.
I'm on the phone,
yeah, talk on the phone.
but I can't hear you on the phone.
You can't hear us.
He can't hear us either. Okay.
Weird. Okay. Something's going on here. possibly with it's funny too, as we can see how many people are listening to us and watching us through StreamYard, and the numbers are quadrupling, and I think they're watching us sink, like it's like watching a sinking ship.
I
So
think so.
people,
It's
more and more
entertaining for
people
people.
are jumping on watching us, and we're
Yeah.
Jonathan, you're helping us set a record here of people watching us on Facebook. We usually get about 2,000 to 3,000 people, but might double that today.
Everyone wanted to hear what Jonathan had to say. I'm like, we have Jonathan on monthly now. It's like his one day.
I know.
Aw.
Well, we're getting close to break here.
We are coming up on a break here. And
Let me
then
see if
I'll,
I can.
touch with the mothership and see what's going on. And hopefully we can get Jonathan on the last two segments, but we appreciate all of you guys tuning in and
Jonathan,
hanging out with us.
if you can hear me, I will call you because my phone goes through my board. So just put your phone number up and I'll call you for the break.
Yeah.
Cool. That works.
Okay, cool.
Sounds like a plan. We got a plan going.
Let's hope that works now. Oh, hey,
Okay.
is this time to is it break time yet? Please, God.
We got about a minute or so. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But guys, go ahead on that break and check out the Red Shirt podcast on those streaming platforms, and you can find Jonathan and all of his content there.
Yeah, just to remind everyone too, Haley, that Native Roots Radio is on there too, and I don't know if we'll put this one up, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, like all of the past 2,000 episodes or however many there have been in 9 seasons, you can find on podcast platforms,
something like that. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we're having fun on Monday. It's Fun Fact Monday. It's like, is this going to be a long week Monday? Oh, what? This is. We'll be right back. Hopefully.
Award-winning singer-songwriter Galen Lee and master storyteller Kevin Kling bring you Invisible Fences, a musical fable blending song and story in a powerful celebration of disability culture. After their sold-out run in 2023, they're back for 2 weeks only at Open Eye Theater March 6th through the 15th. As one audience member said, it was a creative, delightful, entertaining, joyous production, totally original and enlightening. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at openeyetheater.org.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. You know, over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
I'm Rachel Schroman, owner of Schroman Law, and I believe you deserve information. Our firm offers free quarterly estate planning seminars at our office in St. Paul. At these seminars, you can learn the basics of estate planning from an attorney to help you determine which estate planning documents will meet your needs and goals in an efficient and cost-effective manner. You can learn more and register at our website, schromenlaw.com/events. That's SCHROMEN law.com/events.
Native history in Minnesota is diverse and rich. Indigenous people have dwelled here for thousands of years and continue to live here today. Our home, Native Minnesota, at the Minnesota History Center, shares the history and contemporary stories of the region's Native peoples. Now on display, the mask designed by Milwaukee, Dakota artist Cole Red Horse Taylor and worn by Minnesota Wild goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury. Visit the Minnesota History Center to hear stories of resilience, adaptation, and survival.
Your heart beats for generations. Take care of it.
There's a lot that we can do to take care of ourselves. And so I think it's important to take the smaller steps and break it down into more manageable pieces because the little steps leads to big changes.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. For Indigenous women, taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Let's protect that story. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 32. Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 46. Then Tuesday night, rain possible with a low of 35. Discover the amazing roast beef sandwiches and so much more at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. Mavericks is located 1 mile south of Highway 36 on Lexington Avenue. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, this is Governor Walls. Thank you for listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. And we have Jonathon on. And Jonathon, this is going to try again. Introduce yourself to our listening audience. Just unmute yourself and say a big who.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Miracle. It's a miracle.
Awesome.
We were about to do smoke signals there, Jonathon, but I'm glad we made it and glad things got figured out.
You know, it's good. I get used to some of these things happening sometimes, so I'm like, just go with the flow and it'll figure itself out, I think. But I want to thank you guys for having me on again. Since we last spoke, been very busy with the Western Hemisphere Indigenous Network. And next level collaborations where, our focus really is the long form community development. So what we realize is on our reservations is this development is slow, or it's one step forward and 2 steps back. So we developed a program called the Tribal Anti-Corruption League. And that league was to really join forces with, in this case, the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe, my tribe, and shine a light on inaction and corruption, whether that's poverty, addiction, suicide, the healthcare system, the IHS, economy. We've seen, a whole lot of stagnant data and worse conditions on many reservations. And in all these aspects, we just want to hold leadership accountable and give that transparency to keep our people safe. So when we're seeing more money go into the BIA to our tribal nations, and then we don't see any change, it's like we need to start asking questions. And that's why we decided to create this program and make sure that the community feels safe also speaking up. So Tackle, we've come as an assistant for the people and a media presence. And we, from what I've seen, we really are the only tribal watchdog group in the hemisphere whose focus is giving the community a voice and also reaching our handout to the councils, to these tribal councils, to say we're watching and the community has valid concerns and we want you to sit with the community for compromise and change. But so far, what we've seen is a one-sided affair here, and it's those simple numbers that are really triggering, a lot of people. For example, one of the things that I recently uncovered on my reservation, and I focus on my reservation first because I want to really protect my people, and then we can do this on other reservations, so show them that they can do it too. But right now on my reservation, we have 16 individuals on 24 boards and committees on the whole reservation. Now that's not illegal, but it shows that there's a lot of concentrated power. And then with that comes conflict of interest and lack of transparency and accountability. And from what we've heard from the community is that is exactly what's happening. And so that's why we have to bring it up. There's other things like that. There's last year, and between this year and last year, there's $2 million worth of grants ranging from grid resilience to economic development. And there's been zero progress when we speak to the community on these specific areas. Those were just two. And then another thing was how 85 or 87% of ranching profit on our reservation, per the USDA data, is going to non-Indigenous hands and going back into the United States economy. And ranching is the economy on Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe. So all our nations, we have our own economies that we focus on. In this case, ranching is big on Cheyenne River, but only 27% of that profit goes to the native ranchers, the tribal community. So this is a pattern we've seen on our reservation, on other reservations with resources, and all these stats and numbers reflect neglect and mismanagement. So we've been hit with the angry looks from councils, but this is stuff that we have to start talking on. We're in an active genocide, and we do need to make sure that we're holding everyone accountable, even ourselves as a community. We do need to step up and start attending those meetings, attending the council meetings, so we are aware of what's going on. They can't just pass things through without the community knowing. So that's a serious part of what we're doing, and that's a necessary part. But there is happy progress. There is a lot of stuff going on that's good. And with NLC Win, we're also focusing on a basketball camp that's in the works on Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation with Takini School that's in Red Scaffold, South Dakota. And what we're looking for, the goal is to get the youth a healthy outlet. In this case, basketball. Basketball on the reservations is huge. And while giving them that outlet, educating them on our languages, our traditions, and values. Our youth, they get tossed into this drama, and they get put into a position where they get left in the corner while our tribal councils and our communities are arguing back and forth. But the youth, we have to realize they're the future, and we need to protect them. We need to give them the tools that they need, and that specifically is the languages. If we want to strive as communities in the future, the languages have to be the focus. So that's one of the big good things that we're working on. Next month as well, we're doing an NLC Win tour from Minneapolis to Duluth, and this is a collaborative, educational, and interactional cultural exchange event. And what I'll be doing is a tackle seminar to speak on the tribal and non-tribal issues that impact our community and how we can work together to come up with solutions. We all know what the problems are. I know we all have solutions too. So, we have an hour-long session of anti-Indian policy and how that's impacting us, what we can do to, push our tribal leaders, to start questioning these things as well. And I'm a hip hop artist as well, and I'm in love with actually just writing the music. I could just write music, it'd be fine, but I'm not at that point right now. So I wanted to give other writers the inspiration, the youth, to start storytelling, because that is a part of our culture, a huge part. And no matter what form, even hip hop, it's a necessity for our cultural revitalization. And like I said, we're in a genocide, so this really is just protecting the 7 generations ahead. So I'm actually solidifying a date with the Minneapolis American Indian Center. Cool. And I solidified a date with ACO in Duluth. And I actually talked with Haley. I think we talked about getting you and possibly into that Minneapolis event, getting you up there and highlighting what you guys are doing, because what you guys are doing is so important. And it is the education, that communication that's going to push us into the right direction of true sovereignty. And then I also spoke with Tall Paul. He's that local hip hop artist. He's native, and I actually am a huge fan of his. I think he's not only going to be huge in Minneapolis and in native hip hop, he's going to be huge in the mainstream. So I'm just excited to do this type of thing all as much as I can, and as much as everyone wants to, because when it comes down to it, we've stuck together for 500 plus years as a community. We've networked. Sometimes we didn't network as good as we could, and it pushed us in a direction, into colonialism, assimilation. But now we have the opportunity with the internet to stand up, unite, and start working together for that long form community change. So I'm really excited, and I'm excited to talk about it.
You're a doer, Jonathan, and I appreciate you being on and talking about all these things. I know the Ho-Chunk Nation has 4 forms of government, and one of them is called General Council, where our tribal members are able to speak up and bring up issues, but it goes back to the government then, and then slows down again. That's been my experience, and also my really frustration about how Indian country works too. Works very slow, and these 500 plus tribes are run very individually too. Not all size fits all, and so it's very interesting where we have neighboring tribes, not here in Minnesota, but in Wisconsin, that maybe supported somebody that I would never support, and so we have all these weird things going on. But to solidify and know that we've been around 500 years, and that they're coming at our casinos, they're coming at our sovereignty, they're coming at all these things, and it's written in black and white in Project 2025. So it's good that we're talking about this, and it's great that you're doing all this work, and we have to keep busy and educate, and that's what you do really well too. From your podcast to, I really got turned on watching all your TikToks. In all seriousness, it's I'm so happy that you're on and talking about what you're doing, and reaching out to our community and our allies that listen to this show.
Right. Yeah. No, it's an odd time for us, because we, even before this administration and the last, we've been dealing with kind of the silent oppression. And I've always said, red or blue policies, they've all kind of always taken advantage of our treaties and our rights. And now it's coming to the point where they, it's like they're almost testing the waters. Like, how far can we go? And they're doing it publicly. And what we're going to see here very soon is this is not just a federal issue. This is an international issue. So we're going to see a lot of international attention. And I don't think this administration, and I don't think any administration, really wants to spend that much time. But, who knows, because of how much resources we have. But what we need to do as a community, I think, is really put pressure onto our leadership to start protecting those assets that we have on our reservations. I've actually, the past few weeks, have been on a couple meetings with environmental impact statement with the Chicago Treaty Council. They're trying to get an impact statement for the whole treaty of Fort Laramie, 1871, 1868, or 1851, 1868, and just to identify all of our resources, from our plants, our animals, gold, lithium, oil, all that stuff, and then once we have all of it identified, and we can start to protect it and start leveraging for our own economy. Right now we have thousands of trucks, thousands of cars going through our reservations. There's no tolls. Billions of dollars of tourism dollars on our reservations. We don't see any of them. So there's a lot of things that we can kind of start talking as a community. These are little ideas. Imagine all of our community members coming together, giving our ideas. We slim them down to the main ones. We all agree on them, and then we can start a new economy, a new future for our people.
Yeah. Let's talk more about that in the next segment, Jonathan. And we are here, and we're really proud of you, young warrior, and you're making a lot of sense, and we're going to talk some more. This is Native Roots Radio, and we're with Haley Cherry and Robert Pilot, and Jonathan. We'll be right back.
Your heart beats for generations.
Your heart is so many things. It beats all the time, and it works very hard to keep you moving through your day, keeping your thoughts clear. It's the most important organ in your body.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. Taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats. That's hennepin.us/heart-beats.
I love the Toyota Sienna Hybrid from Rudy Luther Toyota. Safe, roomy, comfortable, and insanely fuel efficient. One thing I haven't mentioned is how good the Sienna is at winter driving. We just had a snowstorm, and my Sienna handled the ice and snow no problem. From getting through the plow pile at the end of the driveway to safely navigating the snow-covered highways, the Sienna is designed to give you a comfortable, safe drive. When winter weather hits, I give myself extra time, but with Sienna's handling and heated seats, extra time is great. Test drive a Sienna today at Rudy Luther Toyota, 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first ticket for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. See you at the movies. walkerart.org/cinema to learn more.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population, say no to the hunts. How?
Good one, Haley.
Hey.
Yes, good howl there. Jonathan, welcome back. And again, would you mind introducing yourself and also talk about how we can listen to your podcasts and all the information that you are bringing us today?
Yeah, I'm Jonathon Okutè Maza, and just for people who want to know what Okutè Maza means, it's Iron Shooter, and that is that was my father, my biological father. That was his family's line, and I'm Cheyenne River Sioux tribe, but I'm also Sisseton. I'm also Rosebud, and right now you can find me on Red Shirt VI on Instagram. You can go to the Red Shirt Podcast on Spotify. I'm on YouTube, WHIN 2024 or Western Hemisphere Indigenous Network. It's a long one, so you might want to save that in your copy paste folder. So, but Western Hemisphere Indigenous Network.com as well, and nextlevelcollaborations.org is our main foundational organization there. So right now our main focus, like I said, is just getting that education out there and getting everyone on board. We all have a place. I always say that this is a puzzle, and we all might be unique on a larger scale. There's 576 plus tribes in the United States alone, so we're talking about thousands of nations in the Western Hemisphere, and combined we have the resources, the knowledge, and the will to restore the Western Hemisphere to what it was. And then we can be an example to the rest of the world on how to be ethical and raise the standards for Unchi Maka, because right now we're killing Mother Earth, no matter what way we look at it. So raising the standards on all levels, keeping those standards, and really it'll become a competition. People are going to be like, oh, I'm cleaner than you now. Yeah. It's going to be fun, but we got to get to that point. And I think if we can spend billions of dollars on a jet for the military, I think we can spend $1 billion on some clean water initiatives, doing some research into a new lithium extraction technology, or finding a whole different, source for that type of source of energy anyway,
Right. Jonathan, one of the things we try and do here on Native Roots Radio is educate our allies and also remind our tribal relatives that one thing that you mentioned too is they might not know is the BIA has never been a friend of Native Americans. And also a thing that you brought up too earlier is that when we lease our lands to farmers, we get that land back. When we do get it back, it's destroyed. It has chemicals in it. It has all these things that you don't want in your soil. So those are really key things that you brought up earlier. And I just wanted to amplify that too, because a lot of the people that listen to the show, and then I learned so much on doing the show for 9 years about Turtle Island and indigenous people across, the Western Hemisphere. We're all different tribes. We're all, Ho-Chunks don't do dream catchers, even though it's fun art, but that's not our way. All those things that almost become pan Indians to a lot of people. So I just wanted to bring those 2 points up too and agree with you.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's why it's so important too, is that we all start getting involved in our community, because once you do join those council meetings, you start, seeing how, you're more unique than everyone else. And even neighboring tribal nations like the Oglala Sioux tribe is not the same, as the Cheyenne River at this moment. We are the Ochete Shakowin, but right now, the way it is, we do have different separate governances per the Indian Reorganization Act constitutions that were forced on us, and and now being continue to be forced on us through the BIA. Like you said, they've never really been our friend. It's really just been to slowly, honestly, it's been to suffocate our rights, and then we slowly are gone and we slowly leave, and we're still seeing that today. That's the problem, and we're nearing the end of our genocides. I looked up our Lakota language, and it says there's under 10,000 fluent speakers left, and people think that the general consensus is over 20,000. So this was the UNESCO, this was their numbers. So in the Dakota language was under 1,000. So it was under, so it's like we're looking at the extinction of our languages, which then turns into the extinction of our nations. And once we lose our languages, it's over. So I think that it's just so important that we start focusing on our communities, because with that comes the revitalization of us even speaking to each other. And then we can speak to each other in our language. And then from there, you're speaking to each other in your language in the stores, and then in your classrooms, in your hospitals, in your sports arenas. And from there, it's restoration.
Well, Jonathan, one of the things that we talk about a lot here, because I'm older and I was a high school teacher and had a all native homeroom and for years, and all these young ones are in the community and doing things like learning their language, for 2 generations at least, with the boarding schools, and then after the boarding schools and assimilation, and taking people off the res and promising them jobs and not giving them jobs. We are on the upswing, I believe, too, with young ones like you and Haley that are learning our way, that some generations didn't know and weren't able to pass it down. So really kudos to you young ones for doing this. And I feel like the future is very bright when I hear a young man like you speak this way.
Yeah, I see the future bright when I see our young, our toddlers speaking the language. I'm like, it's insane. It brings tears to my eyes to see that, not 100 years ago, that language, it was being forced out of us as toddlers, some as toddlers, and then they held on to that language secretly for 100 years, and they passed that on. And then now a toddler, a Lakota, can speak his language fluently, and it's just insane that we are so strong and resilient, and that's not going to go away. So if we're just getting stronger at this point, and I think that one of the big things that we were talking about in Cheyenne River at this recent meeting was a call to action to get people to go back home. As far as IHS is concerned, there's a concern of them sending body bags to IHS on these reservations instead of sending the medical equipment because they know that they can't keep up with it. They don't have the staff. And this ends in, these statistics of the highest death rates of addiction, of suicide, of heart disease, of diabetes. So, they're working on a call to action to get all of our educated youth who are going to school to be doctors and nurses, and this can expand to law enforcement and judges and et cetera, to come back home to where they're going to come and they're going to take care of our people the way that, other people might not care to or even be responsible for. We have the ability to take care of ourselves. I don't think somebody coming from a different country per se to come and take care of us is the right answer. Right now, that's our only option. So we do have to work with that, but we can start talking as a community about the true change and calling our people back, because that's going to start a big thing too.
Right on, Jonathan. That's a mic drop. Really, really appreciate you coming on and really having patience for us too, as things happen technically. Can't wait to have you on next month and in the future. You are really good medicine and a great way to start out this week. Big Peenigee.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
We'll talk to you soon. Hey, if you're listening to this show, you're part of the resistance from Chief Plenty Coops. The ground on which we stand on is sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office. We're still here. We are the 7th generation.
The city of